Hi, my name is Brian. I'm the composer and co-designer on the upcoming indie game GunDrill. We're getting really close to releasing our free demo, and I wanted to pull the curtain back and show you our journey from the prototype all the way to the action-adventure platformer that it's become today. First contact. This is Ko. He's the programmer, artist, and co-designer on GunDrill. We met on a website called Indie Team Up, which unfortunately no longer exists. The first prototype he sent me was a parkour platformer, and even though he was using placeholder art, I thought the controls were really fun. Since Ko and I live in different countries, we actually met over video chat. We both loved sci-fi and latched onto this idea of an astronaut roaming these isolated alien caves. My job was to bring the sound of this world to life. Stranded. So it's the fall of 2016, and I'm going into my second year at Berklee College of Music. Ko is sending me new builds of the game, and he's added a bunch of new movement mechanics. But the Jetpack Sounds were really frustrating. I really struggled with making those. I was stuck in the mindset that it needed to be recorded audio. I was using a little portable recorder. This is a Zoom H5. Then what I would do is downsample or bit crush the sounds and layer a few of them together. And this is a really fun way of making sounds, but it just didn't work for our game. Scrapping our progress. That spring in 2017, Ko made a major change to the mechanics of our game. He was having his own frustrations with how the gameplay was working, and the main problem was the character was too mobile. Like any little obstacle we put, you could just triple jump over and, well, double jump and air dash, and it was very challenging to try to find a way of making that gameplay satisfying. Now, retrospectively, we have a bit more experience, and we could have just made a big lumbering enemy to kind of fill up that space in the cave. Or we could have gone more the bullet hell route, taken advantage of your character's fast movement, and had lots of projectiles. But it wasn't working. Ko decided he was going to basically scrap the game. He, at that point, was very inspired by this game called Kuro Blaster, and it's a really cool game, but if you've ever played it, it's really the complete opposite of what we had been making up until that point. The character is very floaty, it's very bright and colorful, and this caused some tension between us. Something that really drew me to the first version of our game was the tone and the atmosphere, and the movement mechanics that made it so compelling. But the big positive I got from this version of the game was I got a ton of practice implementing sound effects into the game engine. At this point, we were still on GameMaker 1.4. Experimentation. The big turning point was that summer. Ko was telling me he was disappointed with the progress he'd been making, and we had what I still think of as the most important video call in all of development for GunDrill. At the start of the call, we were talking about scrapping the project. But by the end of the call, we had realized the thing that was making this so stressful was the weight of trying to make a commercially viable game just hanging over our heads. And we weren't ready at that point. It was too much. So we decided, let's just distill the gameplay down to one level, even one room. We're not thinking about the end product, we're just thinking about what is fun. This is when my role of being the composer and sound designer expanded, and I became a co-designer on the game. So fall of 2017 is when Ko and I got really into the theory of game design. And we were sending each other GDC talks and GameMaker's Toolkit videos. We'd have brainstorming sessions where we would come up with all these crazy ideas, and then Ko would go off and, real quick, messy code, mock them up and try them out. We added trains, falling blocks, spikes, various enemies, invisible treasure chests. But the thing The best thing we found was the GunDrill. This drill that had this dual function where you could drill through blocks, but then it could spin up and you could use it as a long-ranged gun. Sound-wise, something finally clicked. When I started synthesizing them, they felt so much more satisfying in-game than what I was doing with bit crushing the audio sound effects. I also wrote a track called The Ice Tunnel. It has all these sweeping arpeggios, and this track is like the first time I felt this is the sound of our game. And then, after making it so far, we were completely burned out. Not from frustration or from not knowing what to do next, but this next stage of polishing our demo just felt like this monolith of work. It was very tiring to feel like we were 90% there, only to have 90% to go. Because polish is a lot of work. So we took a year off. A whole year. The only reason we're even able to do that is because we don't have a publisher and we're not answering to investors. But it was great to have that time to actually kind of have a mental break from the project. Ko was going back into another year at university. I had just finished Berkeley, was starting up a day job. I made music for a couple other video games and took up film photography of all things, making our demo. But in summer of 2020, so just a couple months ago now, we decided to take our demo head on. The last few months we've been polishing our demo, doing bug fixing, and been filling in missing sound effects, adding lots of cool new features, and trying to make the experience as good as we can to represent what the full game could be like. So here's some gameplay from the current version of our game. This has been a complete journey to get to where we are today, but we're more motivated than ever to let you guys experience Oz's adventure. If you want to keep updated and know when we release the free demo, you can find us at Twitter at @ko_ and at Brian_Mowat. You can also subscribe to this YouTube channel where I'm going to be posting a lot more videos about the progress of our development, more music-focused videos as well. I've actually composed 17 tracks for GunDrill. Not all of them are going to be in the free demo, but there's a lot of cool material that I'm excited for people to finally start hearing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.